All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to In the Guard. Coming back off the break, right? UFC Fight Island number 8. You know, your one-stop shop for everything MMA, combat, sports, betting, DraftKings, all that good stuff. I'm Mike.
I'm Tony.
And we're here to, like I said, break down last night's return 2021. It was UFC Fight Island 8, and it was a doozy, right? On ABC, right? For the world to see.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card to start out the new year. Some bangers of fights going on, you know.
Well, yeah, we talked about yesterday through our text. We were watching it. Like, if there was ever a card to put on ABC for the whole world to see, like this, would he just fart?
No.
I think he's farted.
I'd let him know.
I'll say I was going to put it on blast right now. Like, did he just fart?
I thought the same thing.
I'm not going to let that slide through. Yeah. He did not fart, though. Confirmed. Definitely, if it was not a smelly one. But, yeah, it was like if you're going to put a card on display for ABC national audience, this was it. Because you got like a little bit of everything in this. Starting with, the main event, where it's like one of the greatest performances ever.
It was nice to see some refreshing ads and advertisements versus those stale ones on ESPN Plus where it's over and fucking over.
It was kind of cool how they did that whole connection too with the whole Muhammad Ali and Howard Cosell stuff. That throwback was really cool. How the relationship of fighting and ABC.
Yeah,
and
those guys had a good little chemistry between them. But yeah, man.
Yeah. Max last night. Let's just start right there. The star of the show. Like,
sets a record, 439 significant strikes. Oh, we had over 600 strikes. And then he sets the record in the fourth round, 149, I think, significant strikes. I thought this fight was going to be more competitive than what it was.
Everybody did. I mean, when we were going over our picks, I'm like, am I like 60-40?
Yeah,
Max
I was
Cater?
51-49 pretty much.
I thought Max Cater had the volume advantage, which he obviously did. But I thought Cater had like the power to like take this fight over, and it just never.
Yeah, I mean, there's levels.
Right.
And Holloway didn't slow down at all.
Like you can argue, like, is it the most dominant performance? That's hard to break down because there's so many different ways to dominate a fight. But, like, what you can't deny is that, like, Max had, like, a masterpiece last night. It was one of the best performances for definitely of his career. And then maybe ever, was it 50-42, the final score?
50-42. That means what, 3 10-8s, 2 10-9s?
And you can argue that they were all 5 10-8s.
Yeah.
All of them could have got a 10-8.
It was a beatdown. It was a beatdown of Cater. I mean, but props to Cater for hanging in there, staying tough, Well,
it reminded me a lot, too, of the Brian Ortega-Holloway fight where he was just kind of piecing him up. That's kind of one of the things, like, Max gets you in trouble, like, especially early in a fight when you're fresh. His punches aren't that powerful.
Yeah.
But before you know it, you got 500 hits in your face, and by round 2, 3, 4, it's just like, the flurry has gotten you. And you get, like, lulled to sleep early in that fight because he's landing on you. But it's not really that big power punch that scares you or, hurts you. But, man.
But the diversity of strikes, his body, head, legs, everything.
No look ducks, too. Like, and I'm the best boxer in the UFC.
The showmanship at the end.
No takedowns.
Yeah.
No takedowns. Yeah. Holloway's got good takedown defense, though.
Yeah.
A fight I would like to see, and I've been itching to see it. Like, I would have rather seen Holloway McGregor again than I would see Poirier McGregor again. Like, I'd rather see Max Holloway, Conor, too.
Well, I don't know about that unless Conor's going to come down. I don't like Max at 155. He did not look good against Poirier at 155. Yeah. We already talked about his power really isn't there for that weight class. Like, Conor's a big. We all see the videos.
He's buffed up.
He's a big dude that's coming down to 155. Yeah. That's a big power. And you see the difference even in Poirier. Poirier at 145 was a way more pedestrian fighter. At 155, he's one of the best in the world. Like, it's just that weight class. So if Conor wants to come down, I'll see it. But then I don't know if Conor can go down to that weight no more. He's a big dude.
No, I don't think so.
He's a big dude.
Nor that he wants to,
Right. Why would you put your body for that?
Yeah.
But, I think Max just waits for the winner of that title fight and beats whoever walks away. In my opinion, I'm going to put this out there on air that he's never lost that featherweight title. I think he won both those Volkanovski fights, if not just the second one for sure.
Oh, he definitely won the second.
The second one for sure. But I would go as far as saying Volkanovski hasn't beat him still. So give him that title shot again, and we'll talk more about that happens. But I think he might be fighting Brian Ortega for that title when it comes around.
I think Brian Ortega could pull the upset.
But that's definitely us for him. As far as Cater goes, it's hard. Where does he go from here? That featherweight division's pretty stacked. He can find himself a good fight, but, man.
Yeah, he already beat Jeremy Stevens, so,
maybe if how long is Yair out?
Well, I think they're still waiting for the Zabit fight, too. They're still trying to make that.
Zabit already.
Yair?
No, Yair's gone.
Yair was supposed to fight Zabit.
Yeah,
but he's been ducking the USADA. Or
so he's suspended for a certain amount. I don't know how long the suspension's going for.
And Cater already got beat by Zabit, so.
What is he?
I mean, there's Chan Sung Jung. Why don't those two get together?
I mean, that's a good. Zombie's fighting somebody though, isn't he?
Zombie.
He's got paired up with somebody. But I
mean, Cater's 6.
What's Thug Nasty doing? Give him Thug Nasty.
No, that's a decent one, which would be a fun fight to watch, which might not be beneficial for Cater. Shane Burgos.
Burgos is fighting somebody though, right?
Right, but I mean, Cater's had his fight. Burgos had Burgos in the next couple of days.
Well, Cater finished Burgos already once.
It'd still be a fun fight to watch. So. And then you got 50K. Ige hasn't fought in a while.
He's fighting Ryan Hall.
Yeah,
he's fighting Hall. Yeah, I haven't seen Yusuf in the cage in a while.
Yeah.
So it's I mean.
And Arnold Allen is booked.
I mean, you can give him Zombie. That'd be a fight night main event for sure.
Barboza's free, I think.
But
he's 15.
It's just hard for him when he loses that fight to Max. It's like he already. Like who you fight?
I mean, that was you got the brakes beat off.
So let's
that was demoralizing. It's like,
is there any way you ever want to see that fight again?
But it could also be motive. I mean,
he has to go on a terror to get back in that title picture. Like he has to beat 1 through 5 and just put them down without any. He's got to do something pretty amazing. So maybe it would be nice time to throw Thug Nasty at him. And maybe see if Thug Nasty can climb the rankings up there. And if he does beat Thug Nasty, okay, then we give him somebody back in the top 5.
Yeah.
But, Max Holloway deserves all the credit in the world.
Great
and
fight.
like I said, if you're going to put a main event on ABC for the world to see, that's something you want to put in front because it was not boring at all. It's a masterpiece.
Let's go on to the next fight, the Condit fight.
This was one of my favorite fights.
This is a good fight. This is a good back and forth fight.
I love me some Carlos Condit.
And Matt Brown's game.
I've tweeted a bunch of times. Anybody that I've seen in WEC, I got a soft spot for.
Yeah.
And Condit just came to play in this fight. Brown came out strong early. He kind of took the advantage that he had. Like the wrestling was where he had the advantage and the chance to win the fight. He got Condit down, but somehow he came away from that scathed cut with a cut from his takedown. I guess he had his head on the fence.
That's what they were saying. At first, they thought it was an elbow, but they were saying it was a.
But even at the end of that round, kind of got the reversal, ended up on top.
Yeah.
It was so. If Matt Brown got any of the rounds, it would have been that first one. But apparently, the judges think kind of got all of them.
Fucking Condit looks like John Wick.
Man, he needs to be a hero in a Robert Rodriguez movie.
Yeah,
I told Planet Terror 2. Like he totally belongs in one of those. His
cardio was good.
He's got that perfect Texas accent.
Yeah. He's got that demeanor.
That takedown in round 2, that hip scissor takedown. I don't even know what it's called.
He threw the straight right up top, ducked into the straight right, tripped him from behind, and rolled him down.
I mean, his jiu-jitsu game's on point.
Yeah, beautiful takedown. Was attacking from his back, working the high guard.
He's a player at 170.
I think until he gets to the top 10, maybe, but
I don't know. That top 10 is not that. Maybe top 5. It gets a little hairy for him. But if
he's going to encounter a lot more grappling exchanges in that top 10.
He looked great.
So. Yeah, but I don't think Matt Brown looked top 10. I think there's other grapplers going to give him trouble.
I don't know. The 170 division to me is probably the most wide open one there is, right? And especially outside the top 5. Like the only one that I would give a clear grappling advantage to is obviously Burns.
What about Nick Diaz? I'd like to see Nick Diaz.
Right.
Condit.
Yeah, for sure.
Or even Nate. Would be good.
Yeah, Nate. I want to see Nate Diaz.
See, look, you got Chiesa that finished him in 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Chiesa's not even in the top 10 in that division, I don't think, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
He's ranked for sure. He's definitely ranked for sure. He's main eventing on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But
what division?
He's welterweight.
The welterweight, 170. Yeah, right down there.
There we are.
Yeah, case is number 8.
Number 8. Okay, so he's just inside the top 10. Well, they were saying on the air, Vicente Luque. That's a good fight.
That's a good fight right there. I'll take that.
Well, what about Jeff Neal? Jeff Neal's off the loss.
I'll take that fight. Yeah. And again, I don't think he should jump up and
Robbie Lawler Condit.
But everyone in this range here, he's as good as anybody in 7 to 15, except maybe Hamzat. I don't think Conor's a true 170 fighter anyway. He shouldn't be top 15 in 170 for sure. Has he ever won a 170 fight?
I think Condit would give McGregor issues.
Well, he's big, yeah.
Yeah.
But like the top 6, even Woodley, he might beat Woodley. Woodley looked terrible in that last
fight. Especially now,
Yeah. So he's a player at 170 for sure. If he gets, but he even has the mindset right too. He said, if I get a couple more wins, then I might start the title picture again. So he knows he still has work to do. Give him a top 15 guy for sure and see what he does.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe give him.
It's interesting when it gets to that top 10.
Yeah, I would say top 5 because I said 6 is Woodley, and you got like Maya, and then you got Chiesa. Magny would be a fun fight. Maybe if Magny wins this fight, you go Magny Condit.
If we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Well, we'll talk about that for sure. I'm locking that one in, buddy.
What's next for Matt Brown?
Retirement.
Ooh, retirement.
40 years old, been fighting for how long?
Yeah, and you could. The guy, he came to fight, but
no, he's tough as shit. Like Matt Brown's never gonna back down. He's always gonna hold his own.
24-7.
Right. He's not a total soup can anymore. But there's no titles in his future.
Yeah, I think it looks like his business outside's doing good. He's got his own, gym and.
He did have Baeza rocked when they fought. Baeza was in trouble when they fought.
Yeah.
And he'll always have that because he's skilled, but. The guys he's losing to a lot of guys that might be on the way out themselves. Like we just lost a Condit who's not fighting for another 5 years.
Yeah.
You have Cowboy who has one more run than he says. So quit while you're ahead.
Yeah.
Like you obviously have some miles on you, but Johnny Hendricks. That's a blast from the past right there.
Got the dirty bird, Tim Means.
It's your boy, right?
Yeah.
That was 2015.
And then we got a couple shockers in the card.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like Jing Liang, this next fight, we're going to talk about it, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Like, I had a feeling early on I wanted to go with Jing Liang. Like, because, the ring rust. Yeah. Santiago coming off 2 years. People just overlook Jing Liang.
Well, I'm one of those people. I had no inkling of picking either one of these. We'll talk about either one of these knockouts that happened. I was heavy on the other side.
But I didn't. I ended up going with Santiago, and I'm like, I knew this fight wasn't going the distance. That's one thing I knew.
No,
somebody was getting finished.
That's for sure. And Yingling just came out that.
But it's hard. But it's hard. Like how much of this do you chalk it up to? Zhang Lang obviously better on this night, but how much did that ring rust play in? Like Santiago couldn't really get the wheels going.
Is that? I think there's some overrated to that whole ring or cage rust, whatever you want to call it. He's training nonstop. He hasn't stopped training all this time. There's people that come back from layoffs and they go. Conor didn't fight for how long and he knocks out Cowboy in a minute?
Yeah.
You can't make the ring rust argument half the time.
Yeah.
Does it exist? Does it not? This guy's been training forever. Yeah. He's a pro.
I think there's a lot of recency bias with Zhang Liang's last performance against Neil Magny.
Absolutely, and I was totally on that train.
Yeah,
and he came on and performed. And that also comes out. It's the fight game. Yeah. There's 2 people in there. We'll talk about the Cherico in a second. Like he said, This fight is 2 people in that cage. No matter how big the favorite is, the other guy's coming to get you. And when what was Dingley, like a 300 favorite? My dog,
he was plus 270.
Plus 270. That means you have about a 30 to 40% chance to win that fight. So it's not like he had no shot to go in there, and he gets paid too. Like he trains,
got it done.
He puts that work in. So
he got to travel west versus east.
Right.
Maybe felt a little bit better.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah, a little bit more in his time zone.
Yeah.
All that stuff. So he came out and he got paid for it. He got the $50,000. He got a $50,000 check for that. So shout out to him.
Yeah, great performance from him.
These are some 170 fighters too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe he can sneak in there and fight Carlos Condit.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
That'd be a fun little fight to watch. Actually,
it's gonna play on the feet.
Right, for sure. Ponzinibbio. What was it? Staph.
He had a
lot of
leg
things.
injury.
I think he got staph in that leg too. That prolonged it even further. Who knows? He kind of was emotional after the fight.
Yeah.
And his response. So who knows where his head's at?
I was trying to think. He was supposed to fight somebody for the longest time. It kept getting put off. It was going to be a good fight. I just can't remember who it was, but.
It pops up here.
Yeah, like if it shows where they were canceled, but there's Magny. Perry.
He did beat Neil Magny. That's back in 2018.
Finished him.
That Nelson fight didn't happen. It looks like.
Oh, Gunnar Nelson. Yeah, isn't that the one where Burns stepped in and beat Nelson?
I think so. Yeah.
I believe that's the fight that Burns stepped. I could be wrong on that. He beat Platinum Mike Perry.
Well,
Mike Perry lost. Mike Perry recently lost to a mirror too. So
yeah.
Zach Cummins.
Yeah, I can't remember who he was supposed to fight for the longest time, but yeah. Well, let's get on to Joaquin Buckley, Alessio D. Chirico.
Hey, sometimes you're the Buckley, sometimes you're the Impa, right?
Yeah, and there were some people that were on the Alessio train. They're talking about this. They're like, he's going to be bigger. He's got that defensive mindset, and he baited Buckley in. Like, he did just that.
He looks like a fucking gladiator.
He does have that Spartacus fucking
that
look.
Total straight
Dominus Alessio Di Chirico.
Dominus Di Chirico for sure. He's a tough dude too.
Looks like James Krause was right all along.
He had never been finished, right?
Never been finished.
However, was it Zach Cummins he fought last? Dropped him right as time expired that last fight. So that was kind of a misleading stat. But he came out. Buckley, we know he can take some punches though too. Like before he had that highlight knockout, he was knocked out the top fight before by everyone's favorite fighter, Big Mouth.
Yeah, and you wonder how Kevin Holland's feeling right now. He just watched his grandson get blitzed. Nobody wants to have to bury their grandson that early, right?
Well, I was pulling for Buckley not only because I bet him he was my lock of the night.
He was my lock of the night as well, and he fucked me, man.
I don't want the man to work at Walgreens anymore, man.
Yeah.
Like, no one should have to work at Walgreens, let alone someone who's in there fighting for a living,
Yeah. I mean, no matter what they say, the impression I get from him, he seems like a likable guy, like from what I've watched on, the countdowns and stuff, like the vlog series, But it's like, I think he's too small for that weight division. Yeah, he's jacked, but he's too small frame wise. Like, It doesn't matter. That muscle is not going to help you when you get those guys that are naturally wider than you and longer than you. It's like, it doesn't matter.
I think his biggest issue is he's a tweener. Mm-hmm. He's probably too big for 170. But too small for middleweight. Like obviously like a 175 would probably be his ideal weight class
with that current frame. Yeah, but like then you kind of think about it: is it worth some points cannibalizing a little bit of muscle to get yourself down to that point?
He's what I think he's like 5'10".
But it's like the thing is like, do you see like where does he need all the extra muscle for? He doesn't do a lot of grappling. Like he doesn't do he's on the feet. Like I mean. But some of the best strikers in the world aren't overloaded with muscle.
Do you think he?
Look at Connor's, the Anderson Silva's.
He's lifting weights? What's he do?
Like a body physique like that, there's got to be some weights involved. There had to be maybe before his fighting career.
I don't know, man. There's some people that are natural freaks in nature.
Like that.
I knew some kids in high school that came in as freshmen looking like that.
He's got some extreme hypertrophy to not do any like bodybuilding workouts.
Some people have great genetics. Like some people have great. No, that's not a bro workout. Look at his delts aren't there. No, come on. As trainers, we know that's not a bro workout.
Yeah, but those pecs, like you're not like. It looks like bench pecs to me. Like you're doing some hypertrophy chest workouts with that. That's my thing. Is like. I don't know.
I think he's just in a weird body type that he's in between that 170.
I usually feel like people that are like, very strong wrestlers or very strong strikers, their delts are usually more developed than their chest. Like at the Connors, people like that. I
just feel like this guy cannot touch a weight and look like that.
You think he cannot touch a weight?
Yeah, like he just wakes up on Monday morning and just looks like that after going to Old Country Buffet the night
this
before.
is the thing. Like I think one of those guys. I think we
all know people like that.
Yeah, but I think he's got some weightlifting under his belt, and maybe it's like maintenance at this point with this new style of training and shit. But like, I don't think you just developed a physique like that from fighting. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think he developed it from birth and genetics. I tell you, there's some people that came through throughout my athletic career, like as freshmen in high school. Like, where the hell did you get that from? How did that happen?
Maybe.
But
props to Alessio.
But we also know that Buckley, he is a bang or bust dude. Like, I'm gonna knock you out, or you're gonna knock me out. The bet not going the distance when you're seeing a Buckley fight. And again, his last 4 fights, highlight knockouts. Holland knocked him out. Then one of the knockouts of the year against Impa. Was it Jordan Wright?
Then he finishes Jordan Wright
with a highlight knockout, and then now he gets highlighted here in this one. So. I think that's just the nature of the beast of a Buckley fight, and he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be one of those up and down guys that if I catch you, I got you. If not, you're gonna get me.
Yeah.
Which just puts me right where I want him to fight. I want him to fight platinum. Give me Buckley and platinum.
I like it.
Give me Buckley and platinum.
I like it.
It's gonna be a hell of a fight to watch.
But that's platinum coming up to 185 though.
He's been talking about doing though. Remember, he said I want to work on bigger bodies. I mean, who knows what
I think that'd be a good fight.
We all know he had weight cutting issues in his last
I can't
fight.
imagine Buckley being that much bigger than him, like natural frame wise.
And this wasn't just an idea of brilliance from me. We saw it in Embedded.
Yeah,
they were talking about having to fight with each other in that UFC Embedded during that last card that they both were on. So I think that's where you go with for that fight.
Make it happen. I'm down.
It's going to be a fun fight to watch for sure.
Somebody's going out.
The Jericho, I mean, who knows with him? Like, again, he had struggled with, was it Court McGee was his last fight, or was Zach Cummings?
Zach Cummings. I think he had one more recent than Zach Cummings, though. Because he just fought. He fought recently. I can't remember. And I think he came out on top.
Zach Cummins.
No, it was Zach Cummins. Okay.
Zach Cummins.
He's dropped 2. Okay, to Muradov.
So, I mean, he's been kind of up and down. I think this guy is going to be
Holland beat him.
I think he's going to be hanging around in the whole gatekeeper role.
Yeah.
That's going to be where he's going to be at 185. Who's on the way up?
Yeah.
I almost said Holland. I didn't realize Holland already beat him once.
Yeah.
But again, Holland didn't finish him. So props to him for that.
Yeah.
But I don't, and that weird stance of not interviewing both guys. Like, he obviously does not watch UFC.
I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, like, you've seen when people who've been interviewed after a loss, Joseph Benavidez, for example, like, let's not embarrass him.
No, Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, even Daniel Cormier.
Stopped doing it. That's the whole crying, the whole meme that he became. Like, so it tells me he doesn't watch the sport at all. He has no idea. It's not about disrespect. It's about this guy. If there's a decision, they do interview both guys.
Yeah. Especially like a split decision or something. Yeah.
They do.
You
all the
get
time.
finished,
like
and
when you get
knocked the fuck out.
Barely, bumbling around.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be having to talk about that again. I'm like, can this be in the past ASAP?
Or not only that, who knows what you're gonna say when you're concussed like that?
Yeah.
You can say the most ridiculous things, or like I said, Cormier became a meme because he was crying and stuff. You know, the crying Jordan, crying Cormier.
Your wife at home might find out you cheated on her.
So it's not disrespecting, man.
Use
the language, Barry.
I think it's like a lose-lose situation where, like, either he admits defeat, right? Like, I got my ass kicked. Or he denies it and goes, "Oh, I was cheated. I was robbed. I was this. I was that." You're just kind of. That
makes me wonder about Alessio because he's been on he's lost some decisions in pretty close fights. Maybe he wants some kind of piece he needs to say, like, "Hey, I don't agree with the whatever."
Maybe he's want to talk, but he's never been knocked out either, though. So there's a difference.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just not that smart.
Maybe somebody just put pineapple on his pizza, dude.
Maybe,
Italians don't like that shit.
maybe he's not that smart though, too.
Maybe.
Sometimes you hear somebody with an accent, you think they're a little bit smarter than they really are. I mean,
like, dude, you're Italian. Do you think they interviewed the dead gladiator
right
on the bottom floor of the
Coliseum?
Hey, bro, how's that sword
I would love to see. I don't know what city he's from, but I'd love to see Alessio in one of those Coliseo. You ever see what's that sport? Coliseo Storico.
Are you talking about the one where it's kind of like
rugby and MMA?
But it's like MMA.
Yeah. Like he looks like. There's a documentary series on Netflix. I think it's called Home Team or Home Game, where they document on that sport. It's fucking nuts, and he'd fit right in with those guys. He'd fit right in. We got one more, right? One more fight in the card.
Yeah, we'll talk about one more here.
And this one more we both had.
Woo, Soriano.
This was my knockout of the night. And if you remember my hyper whiskey and wagers.
You had Soriano. I actually went with Todorovic on this one.
Oh.
So, this is.
That's right. Our other dog. We're in agreement with our other dog.
Yeah. But I had him in our head-to-head DraftKings.
Right.
Like, I played him a little bit more in DraftKings,
I was big on Soriano with the power that he had. Yeah. I thought for sure that he was going to knock out Dusko. And I remember when Dusko had that last fight, he was eating some shots.
He was in some spots.
And he was just kind of toughed it out, but the guy didn't have the power that Soriano did. And I saw that he was a dog. I was like, I'm locking that in. And I called it would be a knockout. First round, got it done.
Yeah, I mean,
12 seconds left.
Right.
Yeah. Todorovic was tough, though. He ate some shots. He hung in there as long as he could. But after that first one there, I mean.
He kind of was like Poirier, right?
A little bit.
But I think we're going to see a big downfall for Dusko.
Yeah, I don't.
One thing that stuck out to me a lot during his interviews, he kept talking about that 0. I want to keep that 0. I want to keep that 0. Like, he was so focused on being undefeated. Like, it was more important than winning a title, he even said.
In his style, like the way he tries to do the Anderson
Townsend fight I was talking about.
You can't just do that.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah,
that is not good. The best defense, right?
And so I guess Punahale. I think I said it right.
Yeah, I mean that's great when you got unlimited space behind you, but there is a cage. There's.
And I think he also, he's 10-0, so he's still early in his career. He's, when you're early in your career, you're fighting guys that you can beat, guys that you're better than, and as you climb, you start to feel some resistance. Like there's a reason there's only like 1 or 2 guys that retired undefeated, or one that's retired undefeated, and it kept that long. You have Izzy, you have Old Boy, and so what's that? Emersov in Bellator that have like 20 something. And you're gonna lose in MMA. There's way too many ways to lose. Not like boxing where it's just I'm the best boxer, so I'm gonna keep winning because I'm a better boxer.
It's not if, it's when, right?
Right, you're gonna get it. So the fact that he was so like strong, I'm gonna keep that 0, keep that 0. I think this could be a downfall where it totally crushes him.
Just coming back from just a knockout like that too. In general, though, it's like. There's a lot of psychology in this shit,
right?
Too, you know?
Exactly. So we'll see. I mean, I'm playing
then,
chair psychologist here, but
you're in that next fight and you're wondering about your chin. You know, you're like, am I gonna hold up if I get in these exchanges? You know,
yeah. Or on the flip side, I could be totally off, and he'd be like, this could revitalize them. We could take that pressure off them. Who knows? But man, I don't know. I don't like. Soriano looked way outclassed him. He outclassed him, and it wasn't just like, I caught you a lucky punch. Like he knocked him down like 3 times. Knocked his mouthpiece into the cage. Like
he had some time to
lost
recover,
it, and he still got knocked out again. So like he looked like he was just not on that level.
Oh, yeah.
Puna's on the rise though.
Let's see. That's Wu Yanan, Jocelyn Edwards. You know, pretty good showing. You know, putting Panama on the map. She looked good.
There's gonna be a lot of Tony here. I missed the prelims. Yeah. Actually, had to work.
Yeah, we'll just blaze through it. You know, Jocelyn Edwards, he looked good anywhere the fight was. You know, Carlos Felipe, Justin Tafa feel like each other looking in a mirror. You know, one's Brazilian, one's Australian. I could have get you. I mean, I had the fight for Tafa, but I have no qualms about Felipe winning that decision there. So, I mean, you know, that one's kind of whatever. I just feel like these guys right there, their frames, like they could be light heavyweights or that's why, like, you've seen Felipe's win a decision in his past 3. Like, you don't have the power at heavyweight to finish guys. Like, your frame is not meant for heavyweight.
Felipe is good. He's skilled. A skilled boxer, too.
I just love him at, like, 205.
But I think he thinks he's better than he really is, too. Like, he has the swagger of a guy. I mean, he has 9-1.
I like his attitude. I like it. He comes to fight and stuff. But there's something about these guys that we're seeing at heavyweight that don't have the.
But like, okay, with the way he likes to fight.
Are you lazy?
Could you imagine if he ran across a Cyril Gane? Gane will piece him up.
He's too small. Like,
or even like, who hasn't fought in a while, Rosenstruck. Like guys like that.
Those guys are natural heavyweights. Right. These guys, I feel like they just don't want to put in the work.
We had a real heavyweight in here a couple weeks ago talking. We see how big these fucking people are.
He's 6'5", dude. Like,
there's very few rooms where I'm the smaller guy in it, and he was.
It's like you look at these guys, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's like they could lose some weight before they even started cutting weight, right? Like, why not drop down to 205 where you have that power to finish? Because they hit each other with good shots, but they just don't pack that power. You know, maybe that's what they like. That's gonna be okay in that. But once you come across like you said, the Romanovs, the Rosenstrikes, those are actually big heavyweights.
Speaking of which, you just spoke my language.
I just feel like this is 2 middleweights, 2 light heavyweights with a few extra pounds fighting each other. And I mean, it was a good fight, but
Felipe is like, he's good enough to be in the UFC, but he's not even. I wouldn't put him gatekeeper, but if he was like. Compare him to guys like I said, Gane is way better than him. Dawkins or Espino or Romanov. Those guys are just leagues above him, and I think it's just in his best career decision to go down to 205.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even like, you're talking about the skill side of it, and I think Felipe's got lots of skill. Like, I just think it's a size thing.
Right.
I'm like, you should probably go down. Like, put in a little bit extra work, go down. Tafa's the same.
Lose 20 pounds. Yeah, you'll dominate that.
You have weight to lose.
And there's way less comp at 205.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so little comp at 205 that Izzy's going up to. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna clean that division out.
Yeah, both of those guys got the skill, but like, do they want to put in the work to get to 205? I get it. You can be lazy.
Tafa likes to do shoeies too much. Tafa just likes to do shoeies too much.
Well, him and what's his name as well, Tuivasa.
It's interesting. He has tattoo inside his belly button.
Yeah.
Like, not around it. It's actually in that fucking had to hurt. That is full color inside that belly button.
That's an innie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go like the Zawada Amir fight was a really good fight.
That's what you were telling me.
Wow, like I thought Zawada actually won that fight 2-1. But then again, like, it's one of those you could have gave it.
Hey, when you're on Fight Island, that's basically home team for the Russians.
Yeah, your last name ends in a V. You got an advantage.
Yeah, on Fight Island, like, you got at least one. You got like a half extra point per round.
But I mean, I was very impressed with Zawada. Like, he came out there, he was game, and I thought he won 2 of those rounds. But Meave gets the decision. Sarah Moras, Vanessa Melo, worst fight I've seen. I was going to say this year, but like, you thought Caitlin Chikagian was bad. Sarah Moras with the chanting. I think the air got the worst of it in this fight. Like, I think she landed 44 of 200 strikes. It's not that much better for Melo. She landed 56 of 169. So 369 strikes. 100 of 369 strikes was and it was just constant,
But
it's like,
you can't argue with somebody that made just money now.
Yeah,
that we both had Melo underdog. We both had Melo underdogs.
And so she won some money for us, but bad fight.
Right.
We didn't miss much.
Right.
And then what else? Was that we had one more.
There's one opener.
Great fight. Austin Lingo, Jacob Kilburn. I mean, this was Austin Lingo just put on a show. And Kilburn was tough. He had some moments, too. I think he got Lingo once with a spinning back fist. It kind of had me like, oh, shit. But Lingo looked good. He looked well-rounded, much better than his first time out against, who was it? The Moroccan Devil?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lingo came out. He almost turned the lights out a few times, but
I was hoping for that.
It was a good fight. Lingo looked good. I'm excited to see more of him. But yeah, that's pretty much that card.
Which kind of leads us into our whiskey and wagers, talking about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Laid money down on these cards. It was a good night for me. It was we went through our head-to-head picks. I was 8-2 overall, so obviously I'm betting with my picks. So I came back a lot. My locks lost. Joaquin Buckley. Yeah. My 2 losses were the 2 biggest favorites of the card. Yeah. With Ponzinibbio, and it was Buckley with those knockout losses. But I did come through with my Soriano dog. I had a prop bet. I didn't go parlay. In fact, my goal is to try to back away from parlays a little bit in 2020. When I play a little bit, but try to be smarter with my bets. But I had Lingo with the finish, and he came close a couple times. He just didn't get it done.
Yeah.
But so what do you think? We want to look at this one here.
There we go.
Yeah. This is So we got this bet going on. Whoever comes out on top of straight picks these next 3 cards, whoever's on the losing end of it has to eat this up. What kind of pepper
it's a Paqui chip. It's like a tortilla chip that's loaded up with pepper. Some of you might have seen and heard of it. It's the Paqui chip challenge. So at the end of this month, right, we're running these 3 cards back to back to back. So by the end of next week, right, next Saturday, whoever has the best record is eating that chip. So our next podcast,
and that chip's a third of the way in my mouth right now.
I'm sorry,
the loser. And the chip's a third of its way in my mouth right now.
Yeah. So right now I'm up.
The tip is in.
Right. Just that spicy tip is on his lip.
Yeah.
But so right now I'm up 8-2. 8-2. You're 6-4. So I'm up 2. I'm up 2 fights on him.
Yeah.
We got 2 more cards to go through.
Y'all know
here.
I got to give Mike a head start because he's going to fumble the football.
2020 is whole new year. All right, I'm saying on the green side.
Actually, Mike's been you've been whipping my ass. You're like, we drawed that one week, but you beat me, so you're like 2-0-1.
Once you put some stakes in, I'm like, okay, I might actually go into this. I'm gonna pay attention to these picks a little bit.
2-0-1, but hey, I took the head-to-head.
So
DraftKings, so I got a little bit of a victory.
So yeah, we do have that going on. So keep posted on that, and it's gonna be funny watching Tony eating that chip and trying to talk.
I mean the chip.
And trying to, how about those awesome scores though on our DraftKings lineups? How about that?
Yeah, but you see, like the top in some of them were at about 800 and something with the new.
Not the big boys.
I mean, max, man, 209.
But here's the thing too. We're trying to. There's a whole new scoring system in DraftKings this year where there's control time, all strikes count. So we're kind of figure out how to do this still. It's kind of let's try to pick some winners and see who scores the best.
I would say find your grapplers. Find your little guys that throw a lot of output.
Right.
That's what like flyweights on it.
But here's something that didn't really come into play, which this Wednesday's card that you might want to look at is control time. With someone like a Roxanne Modafferi who could end up grappling this match and being in top position. So it didn't really come into play much in this card, but control time's a whole new thing. So we're still trying to figure out where are these new points. I mean, it's a whole new scoring system. So, I mean, the 209 points is by far the most I've ever seen in a DraftKings performance.
And you may see, like, if heavyweights don't finish in the first round or the first minute, they may not even be worth picking anymore.
Right.
Like,
and you have that new bonus but also on the flip side, you have that new bonus for a quick knockout.
Yeah, if they get a quick finish, they're definitely
So it's going to take a few cards here to figure out, where you want to put your money.
That's 115 points, right? If they get a quick finish right off the bat.
So your goal here now is let's try to pick some winners and pray and see who happens.
Dude, imagine what Holly Holmes' score would have been.
Oh man,
probably same as Max when she fought Aldana.
Right. So it was a good night overall. I mean, I won 8-2, but you were 6-4. You picked more winners than you picked losers.
Yeah, I was still 60%.
Right.
It's good.
Right.
So 6-4. I was in green in DraftKings, placed in some of the tournaments. And then also in the sportsbook, I did pretty well. The only thing that was really an issue was Joaquin Buckley, my lock. Yeah. Didn't come through. Vanessa Melo did.
And I feel like that cost a lot of people some money, that fight. So
I mean, like, lock of the night, it's one of this is MMA. Like, it's hard to really find a lock.
There's no such thing as a lock.
Yeah.
All right, guys. There's no such thing as a lock.
Usually, if it gets over minus one, what is it, about 160, minus 170, I don't really play it.
Right.
Like, there's got to be value.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure with MMA. If anything can happen, but.
Which we kind of alluded to it, will lead us into this crazy week of MMA.
Yeah, 3 cards.
3 cards. We got the breakfast card going on Wednesday.
Yeah, get out your Manmosas. Remember Blue Moon and orange juice.
Yeah.
Get the champagne.
I'm going to put in Irish coffee.
Our Irish coffee.
Irish coffee early in the morning. Not really much you want to break down in depth with this card, other than probably the main event.
Yeah, good thing this is in the morning because you'd definitely probably be falling asleep.
This is going to be a chalky card. Now, what chalk means for anybody that doesn't really know about betting or DraftKings is it's going to be a favorite heavy card. It's going to be a lot of showcases for the favorites. There might be a dog here or two. There's one dog I really like, which is funny because Tony doesn't like her as much as I do.
But I love her usually.
Yeah, which is odd. But I really feel like this is just going to be some showcases for some young stars that come up to get. I think that's also why they're playing it at like 11 a.m. is the main card and 8 a.m. is the prelims. They're not really trying to.
What is it on ESPN?
ESPN Plus, yeah. So like they're not really going out of their way to showcase anybody on here. So it's not. So I wouldn't call off work to see this card if you happen to be off in the day.
I mean, these days I still might.
Yeah. But yeah. Now I would just have the ESPN Plus on my phone and get paid to watch this thing. That's what I would do. But
I mean, really, yeah. I mean, Michael Chiesa, Neil Magny.
And this one actually has some stakes involved. 2 top 10 guys in that division.
Yeah, just tune in for this one.
Right. If you make it to that fight, you'll be good. On your lunch break, go ahead, turn it on. I'm actually not lean. I'm going heavy with Neil Magny here. Bigger, stronger. I think Magny is one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC.
Yeah. He
does nothing but put a performance after performance after performance.
Yeah. And the reason I'm also leaning Neil Magny on this is because it's a 5-round fight. I think Chiesa's going to come out of the gates high. He's going to be looking for takedowns. I think Magny's got enough takedown defense to keep this standing, and I think Chiesa just fades. And from that point on, Magny's going to.
And Chiesa's good.
He's
a good fighter, but he has never wowed me.
Yeah, I might pick him in a 3. If this was 3, I might pick him.
I wouldn't go that far. I just think Magny's better than him in every aspect of the fight. Yeah. Chiesa maybe slightly grappling advantage to him, but it's not going to be anywhere to the point where I want to put some money on an underdog or anything like that. I just think that Magny's got him on every aspect of this, and I think Magny's rising where a guy he might end up getting a 170 title shot in the next year or so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going Neil Magny here as well. I think it's going to come out. I think Chiesa's going to search that takedown, but
I mean, Magny was out there telling he's going to beat Hamzat.
Yeah, outpoints him. Okay, we got Lazzez, who made his debut not too long ago against Warley Alves. I'm actually on the Lazzez side here.
Yeah, so am I. Like I said, there's probably not going to be that much argument between us and these because there's not that many. There's not that many close fights in this fight. There's bound to be some upsets for sure, but I think this is gonna be a heavy favorite card.
Yeah, I think Lazzez gets this one done. Let's see what we feel about this one. God, we got Ike Villanueva again. It's like we're waiting for this guy to show us.
I think.
But I'm picking the other guy.
I think this is what we call a bum fight.
I'm going with Vinicius Moreira here. I think he's gonna sub Ike.
If he wins it, that's how it's going to happen because he's a submission game. Now, Ike has a better team. And he's out there working with Francis.
Yeah, but
he's 16-11.
Right.
I'm going with
I'm telling you, this is not a fight of anybody that's ever been any circumstance in the UFC. Yeah. I don't know why this is on a main card, let alone a card to begin with. I am going to roll with Hurricane Ike, but it's not like I'm like, this guy is going to do it, but that's who I'm picking.
He's like the coconut bombs, man.
I just think Moreira can only win if he catches him in a submission. That's the only way he gets it done, whereas I think Ike can either win by decision or by knockout.
Well,
and Moreira has a questionable chin.
It's 6'4" to 6'1", so he's going to have a.
I mean, Ike's one of those guys who probably could go down to 185 if he lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm not happy about.
Whereas that guy's he's pretty lean already, at 205. I mean, I just think this is going to be a big size thing.
I think he's been knocked out his last 3 fights.
Yeah, but I haven't seen Ike done anything to convince me I want to bet on him as a favorite. So that's the biggest thing. Like him being a favorite, I'm not touching.
Oh, I'm not betting on. I'm talking about we're talking head-to-head picks right
picks,
now.
I'm still going to go with Vinicius. That sounds Italian.
Vinicius.
Sounds
like one.
Sounds like another.
This one I will be putting money down on.
All right. Roxanne Modafferi, Vivian Araujo.
Roxy.
Man, I love Roxy, but
I am all on Roxy.
I think this is where she finally finally gets it taken to
Roxy has a way of making fights get really ugly.
Yeah.
It's not going to be entertaining at all to watch. There's probably nothing to write home about while watching this fight, but she's going to end up winning on the cards. She's not going to knock her out. She's not going to tap her out, but she's just going to keep her off. She throws people off their games.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. I mean, just because she is, what is she right now? Plus 300 and something?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to lay some money on that just because of just she always makes
she's
fights.
Spoiler alert, Whiskey and Wagers, she's my underdog.
She wins you some money. She cashed in versus Macy Barber. She was fucking plus 800.
Right.
Who did she just fight?
And let me tell you what.
KGB Lee. She beat her.
And they're both way better than Vivian Arroyo.
Yeah.
Way better than her. Especially Macy Barber. Macy Barber might win a title in her life.
Yeah. Granted, I don't know. Something just tells me Vivian's going to do enough to get it done. For some reason, I just feel like. But then again, I don't like. I really don't know. Like, I'm really conflicted with this. I cannot decide.
There is nothing that Vivian's going to be able to do that Roxy has not seen, has not faced, and probably at somebody who does it better than Vivian. Vivian is a good, solid fighter, but she doesn't do any. She has no skill that's going to be like, oh, this is how she's going to win that fight.
I just think if she wins this fight, it's a decision. She's going to win on the striking.
Oh, Roxy's going to win.
She's going to win on the striking side of things.
Yeah.
VV.
Oh wait. Yeah, that was.
And she's small too.
VV.
Yeah, she's only at 5'4".
Yeah, 68-inch reach, but I mean 69-inch, 125, 125.
But I just don't think Roxy's gonna let her get in on her. She's a better pro. She's a better pro fighter. It's gonna be an ugly.
If Roxy gets her down,
this is not gonna be a fight you want to watch. Just follow it from a distance.
Man, let's bet on it. Let's bet on it right now.
What's the money?
Let's lay the money line.
Let's see what the money line is right now.
Let's go down with Roxy here.
On air betting. This is the Interguard first, everybody. We're going live. That's beauty of the internet.
I mean, it's the odd. I mean, it's too good to pass up.
Right, absolutely.
You got to take Roxy at plus. I think she's.
And this is on a Wednesday, so make sure you're getting this early.
Roxanne is now plus 260. She's dropping, man.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about right now. I'm going Roxy right now, and I just put money on Roxy right now as we speak. 2.5 units.
Plus 260 if you're using the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Locked in. First ever live whiskey and wagers as we went through with it.
We got a cheers to that one.
Yeah, man, we did it. But yeah, I think Roxy wins it by decision. An ugly, sloppy fight that nobody wants to talk about.
You know, a couple bucks to spare, it's totally gonna be worth it. You know. Let's take a look here.
And now we move on to.
It's like I got a mullet.
Yes, we did. Yes, he does. He looks.
Oh, look at that 8-pack he has there.
He looks like
He
looks like they took Vitor Belfort and just smushed him down into a 145 fighter. That's what he looks like.
Are they bred Vitor Belfort and Ricky Simone?
But no, he is not Vitor Belfort. I think that Lerone Murphy, the miracle.
Lerone Murphy is putting that guy to sleep.
I'm debating if this is going to be my lock or not. I haven't decided which one is going to be my actual lock.
He's 26-3. You can't.
He's going to night.
Yes. No, I mean, it's more what I see in Lerone Murphy than anything. He has hands that are like lightning bolts.
And he's got a 5-inch reach advantage.
And he has got, I'm actually thinking of maybe on my prop to sneak in there.
And those UK guys don't fuck around, man.
And going with Lerone by submission. So we'll go with that. He has a really nasty choke from the front face lock, guillotine, however you want to say it, with those longer arms. And I think Douglas is going to rush him and come after him. But I think that Lerone steals this with a submission victory in it. So I might put I'm going to definitely have Lerone as my lock. But since he's such a big favorite, I don't think I'm just going to take him heads up to try to help my odds and try to make some more money on it. I might lay it for Lerone by submission.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lerone TKOs and gets it done that way. But it depends on what the odds are. It might be
let me be perfectly transparent. The way I'm going to lay this down is I'm going to go Lerone Murphy wins inside the distance. So knockout, decision, whatever it may be, knockout, submission, or by disqualification. You know that line. It's usually a little bit less juice on that one. And I'm also going to double down, and I'm going to go with Lerone by submission. So if he does pull out by submission, I win that initial bet, and I get that double cake. Or if he does win by knockout, I still gonna end up covering my bet, and not, I'm gonna go home happy regardless each way. So kind of hedging a little bit.
You're better than hedging.
Yeah, a little bit better than hedging.
Yeah.
Either way. So yeah, that's what I do actually with Austin Lingo. Didn't pay off for me because Lingo didn't finish the fight, but that's kind of what I'm gonna do here with Lamar Murphy, just because he's such a big favorite, and there's no real. If you see someone's minus 200-300, there's really no point in betting on that person.
And it's not worth your risk. I mean, because it's MMA.
Right.
If you're really confident in somebody that's minus 170 or below, even 170 is a little steep, I think.
Right.
It's in points.
And then the last one on the main card that we'll kind of talk about before we get into the big one.
Ricky
next week.
Simone takedown. Oh no.
No, Ricky Simone is on the prelims.
Yeah. Ooh, Matt Schnell and Tyson Am. This was supposed to happen, a month or two ago?
This should be a fun fight. This is one where I'm still kind of go back and forth. I'm watched a little bit more film before I actually lock in who I want.
If this fight would have originally happened, I was more on Schnell, but I like Nam's momentum here.
I'm a fan of Nam too. That's where I actually am leaning in the fight. And if I had to pick right here, right now, that's where I'm gonna go. I like Nam's power.
Yeah, I'm going Tyson Nam here. I think Tyson Nam's gonna finish this fight.
I kind of got a Hawaiian bias, right? Like that island put some fighters out there. So I'm leaning towards Nam. Tough people coming from that island.
I got Tyson Nam as well. I think he's gonna KO this Matt Schnell. I think Matt Schnell I like the momentum side of it, the activeness of Tyson Nam.
And again, on the prelims, it's a lot of super favorites.
Ricky Simone takes
it. Sue. This next one, I am torn on.
But the Dolce Marcus Perez one,
right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm torn on.
I'm kind of liking Perez here.
I bet Marcus Perez every single time, so I might end up just doing it just because he dresses like Joker.
Yeah.
But
he's tough. He showed he's tough as nails in his last fight against who was it? The guy that dropped down to fight him. I can't remember who it was.
Got knocked out though. I know that.
Yeah, towards the end.
Right. So I mean,
but Dolce, in all likelihood, Dolce should finish this fight. But I don't know. Like,
you'll see our final picks when that card comes out, and we'll lay it down there for you. But I'm leaning towards Perez a little bit in that one.
I think Rivera's in a good spot as an underdog.
I should just honestly see who Tony picks and pick the same one so he can't catch up to me. That's what.
But we don't do it that way. We don't do it that way.
That's what I should.
We don't know who's picking who when we do these things. And sometimes we change from the podcast to the Friday because we have to see weigh-ins. We have to see what's going on.
Yeah, weigh-ins is a big key too, because if somebody comes in way out of shape or does a Mike Perry or passes out on the scale, we're gonna I might back away from that person a little bit.
We get a chance to watch a little bit more,
Or Uncle COVID sneaks in. It's 2021, but Uncle COVID's still hanging out. He hasn't moved out yet.
Max Holloway's gonna be on this card, man. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said.
Yeah.
He said if something happens with Dustin Conor, let me know. I'm down. He can gain a little weight back.
Did he not get some suspension?
But I think the rest of this, I'm going to take Rivera. I'm going to take Mason Jones, and I'm going to take. I'm fucking terrible.
Here's what we're saying about these fights. Look at the guy. Look at the pictures. UFC does not have a picture on the website, so that's how much they think about these. Like this one is just totally but shadows. Yeah. Vacant versus vacant.
Well, Leonardo just won the contract from Contender Series.
Yeah.
She grappled her way to a fucking contract somehow. But yeah, definitely sleep in. You can.
Yeah, don't have to set your alarm clocks.
Maybe start at Dolce and Marcus Perez.
All right. Well,
let's move on to business.
The card of the year.
What everybody's here for right now. Nobody gives a shit about this other stuff.
I can get it to load up here.
We got Poirier and McGregor. UFC 257. Pretty damn good card. I think I'm almost as excited for the fucking co-main event.
Co-main. I mean, this is
the main event.
There's a reason they put the ABC card on, not just to try to get showcase for Max Holloway and get some subscribers. They want people to see what they're bringing up next, right?
Right. Yeah, that's a big promote. And even what Max Holloway's whole speech was like, this fight coming up, make sure you tune in.
Right.
See the Dustin fight.
Oh, yeah.
Right. The king is back, right?
The king is back.
The king is back.
So Conor
and I cannot
tweeted
wait
that he's going to take Dustin out in the first 60 seconds. How likely do we think that is?
I would say 35% chance that happens.
There's a good chance. I don't think it happens, but I think he does it in the first
45 round. First round. 45% chance he wins in the first round.
I'm going at least 50% first round.
It's at 45.
Let's go 60. Let's say. But 5% is a lot.
Not that much.
It's a lot.
I guess. It's basically a coin flip if he wins this in the first round. However, the longer it does go,
the more it favors Poirier.
The more it favors Poirier.
I just don't like. I think Poirier's key to victory here. He has to make it an MMA fight.
Right.
He can't strike with Conor. He just cannot do it.
No, I don't
Maybe
think
he can take more
going...
shots, but they're going to add up. Like, this is Conor's game. Like,
I personally think that Conor wins this fight in the third round. I don't think he's going to do that 60 seconds. I
see it in the second.
Like, I don't... Conor, neither one of these guys are the same person the last time they fought, but Poirier, I think, has gotten a lot better, and Conor is kind of the same, which just means because Conor was already really good. You know, Conor didn't have that much growth to do, right? Whereas Poirier is way better fighter, way better weight class for him. So he's going to give Dustin's going to give Conor a little bit more than they got that first fight. It's just going to happen. There's not that crazy rivalry where they're talking shit to each other nonstop. Mm-hmm. There's not that anger in there. It's going to be a little bit more calmer situation. So I think that's going to kind of weather the storm. And I think Dustin's going to be smart early too. So that's why Conor's not going to get it. Like, Conor ices people early when they're pissed at him and they come crazy, out of control, and he has that left hand that puts him to fucking sleep. And I don't think that Dustin's going to come out like that. That's why I think it's not going to happen.
I don't think so, but I think Conor's going to come out like he did against Cerrone, and he's going to force that action.
Yeah, but Cerrone's not Poirier.
And I think he's going to have Poirier on his back foot, and Poirier's going to make a mistake. Yeah, I don't see.
Well, I mean, like I alluded to, I think that Conor wins the fight. Yeah, Conor wins this fight, and I think it's going to happen in the third round finish.
It's going to be what everybody wants. It's best for business, and not even all that stuff to the side. I just think Conor's got the skill to do it again. Like, I mean, there's psychology to it too. I don't care what Dustin says. Shit is in his head.
The only way I think Dustin wins this fight is if Conor gets sloppy and Dustin catches him in a submission. That could happen. Conor has.
But is Dustin going to go for those takedowns? I don't know.
No, I think it can happen in a scramble. I don't think there's going to be some takedown. But I think he can get sloppy in a scramble and he latches on. Because Dustin does have solid grappling. He had a Khabib in that guillotine. He couldn't lock it in, but it was there. And it's going to be. That's the only. I'm not saying that's going to happen.
Will Conor shoot like he did against Diaz? Did he? I think he might have learned from that.
It's got to be Conor getting sloppy. Yeah. I mean, but you can still make a mistake.
But McGregor has to know, like. But you're in the heat of the moment.
And then if you get hit a little bit, you slip, whatever it may be. That's the only way Dustin wins this fight. He's not going to outstrike him. He's not going to knock him out.
Well, so who did better against Khabib, Conor or Poirier?
Well, Conor's the only person that took a round from him.
Conor. But I would say Dustin was closer to finishing it.
Right. I believe, yeah. But, I mean, Conor is technically the only person that's beaten Khabib in a round.
Yeah. Right. I like to say Khabib kind of took that round off, but. He's like, look, I'm standing in front of Conor. I'm standing in front of the greatest striker, and he's not finishing me. That's what I got the vibe from Khabib. But Conor, I still think, had the better performance.
I don't know. Khabib does not give away rounds.
Khabib doesn't care. He's going to finish the fight. What?
No, he cares. Khabib cares. Khabib doesn't give away anything.
He lost that round. Well, no, I guess he did. He got rocked by Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
He lost a round to, who's it, Gleason Tebow.
No, I think the only official round that he's lost is Conor McGregor.
Was it?
Yeah, that third round. It's Conor. And he hated Conor, too. There was no way
Khabib
was letting him do anything.
I just love that Conor's back. It's not the same without Conor.
No, and I guess, like I said, I think Conor wins this fight. I just don't think it's going to be that 1 minute knockout. And I don't think if Conor thinks he's going there and fighting the same person, that's a big mistake for him, too.
I mean, he's already saying ridiculous shit. Like, Conor, we could do a whole podcast just on the ridiculous shit he said.
But that doesn't count. Like, what Conor says before a fight doesn't count. We don't know what he's really thinking in his head.
Not even just about Dustin in general. He's like, I'm still the champ. You know, that title was never unified when I fought Khabib on the 6th. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Dude, that's choke the fuck out.
That's WWE promo.
He's like, he jumped out of the cage to fight everybody. They didn't unify it. Okay, Conor.
But yeah, so I guess we're in agreement on this one. I think Conor wins.
Yeah, Conor McGregor.
Maybe when it happens might be a different argument, but I think round 3.
I'm all over McGregor here.
I'm a Conor round 3.
Yeah, I'm all over McGregor.
And I think he wins round 1 and 2.
He might be my lock.
You know, I think he wins round 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wins in a minute. I don't think he knocks him out in a minute.
I don't think he does it in 60 seconds.
This one is interesting. I want to see where you're going with this one.
I'm going with Dan Hooker.
Damn, I'm going with Dan Hooker too, man. I was kind of hoping you'd pick Chandler.
I fucking love Dan Hooker. Like, yeah. I think Chandler is awesome and he's tough as nails and he's gonna bring it. But I just see Dan Hooker winning this fight. Like But here's the rub, right? So like, how much grappling are we gonna get out of Chandler? Like, we saw Hooker go 5 rounds with Poirier, but in a mostly striking battle, there are some grappling exchanges enough to tease us. But let's say that Chandler makes that his dominant game plan and he gets Hooker on his back. That's Chandler's path to victory. I think if Chandler wants to stand and box with Hooker, I think he's not going to win.
Here's where I'm at on this one. That's a tough debut fight for Michael Chandler in a new promotion.
But that's what he wants
in the middle of an island. Yeah, but I even like a good fight. A guy like Gaethje would be a better matchup for him because they're kind of the same guy.
And these city kickboxing, they're not fucking around.
And that's where I'm kind of leading to. Dan Hooker has like this fucking amazing team. He's training with champions. He trains with champions nonstop. He's bigger.
He is big at 155.
Yeah,
look how long he is.
Yeah.
He's going to be way
I don't know how he ever made 145. I don't know how he ever did that.
He was much bigger than Poirier.
Yeah.
And Poirier's bigger than Chandler.
And the last time we saw Michael Chandler fight, if anybody who's a real hardcore like I am, he got knocked out by a 145 fighter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So now, do I say Chandler has no chance? No.
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Chandler is cream of the crop. He's good.
I think it's 65-45 to Dan Hooker, though. 65% of the time, Dan Hooker wins this fight. And that's why I'm leaning to Dan Hooker by decision. I think he wins by decision.
But my thing is, what happens if Chandler
only
loses his fight?
15% of his fights go to decision.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
But this might be the best person that Hooker's fought.
Really?
Might be. That's not something I'm nailing in stone, but Michael Chandler's world class of championship level fighter. If anything, he's just as good as anybody he fought.
You got a guy that's lost. I mean, you can't do like you know me. Like I like to play around with that MMA math, and you can't do that. But like,
look at that. I mean, look at the Hookers. Yeah, he's the best. It's either Poirier or Chandler, the best guys he's fought.
Yeah,
like without a question. I mean, maybe Barbosa, but again, that's at 145. That was a different. Yeah. That's a different thing. Gilbert Burns, too, another at 145.
I mean, I just think Hooker wins this fight.
Yeah,
I think Hooker has more ways to win this fight than Chandler does.
And Chandler has that, like I said, Chandler and Gaethje are kind of the same fighter. He's a little bit more seasoned and a little bit more calm.
Chandler will use more grappling.
I'm going to come out firing, though, and I'm going to come out try to go, and I will burn myself out.
Yeah, I don't like this fight for Chandler, man. I think Hooker is... But I don't know. Like we could be wrong, and Chandler could go in there and get takedowns with ease. Dan Hooker.
We're gonna learn a lot about Michael Chandler.
This might be a thing where you see Hooker just accept takedowns. Like what?
Like okay, like
you know,
Michael Chandler. Like I said, we're gonna learn a lot about him in this fight. Yeah, he's got the credentials, Bellator champion. He's a world class guy, but he's going into the best division in MMA.
Yeah.
The 155 in UFC. Yeah. Now UFC. There's great fighters outside the UFC. I know I'm gonna be biased. Say it's the best promotion. But that 155 division, there is no division in MMA anywhere in the world that can touch that division. So you're going with the sharks of the sharks. So we're going to see where you're really at. Whereas Hooker's been swimming with them.
This is a tough fight for Chandler.
Yeah,
if he can't get this fight to the ground, I don't know.
And I don't think he's going to be able to do that.
Because you see, Dan Hooker can take some shots.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Hooker. It's a 3-round fight too, right?
3 rounds.
Yeah, I'm going Hooker by decision.
Yeah, I'll go with Hooker as well. Yeah, decision.
Yeah, it looks like that chip's going in your mouth, bro.
Maybe not. Who you taking here?
I'm going JoJo.
I'm going Jessica Ai.
You're going to lose that run. I don't have anything good to say about Jessica Ai. I think JoJo is just better all around.
I think size is going to come in here, and I didn't like what I seen from JoJo that last fight.
I just don't like Jessica.
But I love JoJo. I love her Scottish accent, the way she talks. Just like
Ai's last fight was Calvillo, and she was getting manhandled by a smaller fighter, or one man.
But is JoJo gonna grapple? I don't think so.
I just don't. Just the last 3 times I've seen Jessica Ai fight,
Jessica Ai's
she beat your girl Arroyo.
Well, yeah, and Jessica Ai's been kind of.
We all remember that one.
She's been down in the dumps too. Like she was having some eye no pun intended, but eye injury stuff going on.
Yeah,
like,
the eye injury was called what's her name? The bullet's foot to the head was her eye issue. She got knocked out cold. I don't see Jessica Ai ever winning a fight again. That's my pro prediction right there. I think JoJo takes this fight again by decision. I don't think there's going to be any flash knockout. It's not. I don't think it's going to be very fun to watch.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not going to put any stake in. Although JoJo's got a better KO rate.
So we may differ on this one. We'll see. I'm going to look at weigh-ins and things like that. See how they look.
Look at she has a 0 knockdown per 15 minutes. And how many fights? I mean, she's never knocked somebody down. Never.
First time for everything, they say.
But no, I'm not saying it's impossible. But like, how bad is that? That's terrible that you fought that much and there's no zero. Bad, yeah. It's not impossible. No, don't think she's not capable. But it's just so strange. Never.
Yeah. Yeah, we can just
Yeah, the numbers started to go on my side too, and I wasn't even looking at numbers when I broke this down.
We can swipe right on these two chicks, not because we want to, because we have to.
I'm going. Come on. Just look at this picture. Although Matt's a steamroller for Vola. He's a sneaky. He's strong.
He's game, but I think as a tire.
You look at someone who's 13-0. He's getting kind of like a home fight here on Fight Island. Favola's got to go across overseas.
Yeah. I mean, this is the guy from Bad Santa that catches fucking Billy Bob Thornton almost masturbating in the fucking parking lot. You want,
Like, I just think this is definitely. Sometimes you got to read the tea leaves and you're starting to see what UFC is trying to do here. Yeah. And I just think that this is going to be Atman Azaitar.
Yeah, Atman gets it done.
Atman gets
TKO, KO.
For sure. Yes.
All right, what do you got?
I'm never going to go against Manny Hebas. Are you out of your mind, dude?
Maybe I am eating that chip.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, outside of just having a little bit of a crush on her, I just think that Hebas is the better fighter overall here.
Yeah, Hebas wins this no matter where this fight goes.
Right. And standing submissions anyway.
I could see her pulling off a sub as well.
Now, that's the pay-per-view match.
Yeah, Rodriguez.
We're going to jump to this undercard then?
Yeah, we'll breeze through it.
Uh-oh, page not found. Well, you can read the names.
Yeah,
so we got Armand.
You can say the names.
Blah, 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 yeah, whatever. But you got Nasrat, Hot Parast. I don't know. Like, it was a tough one for me.
Yeah, it's almost as tough as saying their names.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much happening here.
No. This fight is a coin flip to me. I'm a more Brad Tavares. I would say Tavares, Pena, and Roundtree, I'm leaning on those cards and the rest of that card.
Yeah, I would say Tavares, Pena, Roundtree, and I might go with Nasrat. I think he's an underdog right now, but I might go with Nasrat. I don't know much about Armin Sarkukin, so I got to do my homework, but
yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna. Yeah.
UFC needs to get their website together here, getting a lot of 404
Dana
errors.
White, talk to your people.
He's too busy trying to find the fucking pirates. Look at this one, Roundtree front and center right here.
Yeah.
we know who's winning. We know who's winning.
You know what it is? It's Dana talking all those shit about the pirates and they're fucking hacking the site again.
Yeah,
something like that.
But I love Khalil Roundtree, not just as a fighter. I think he's a cool dude. Yeah. That Muay Thai style is so crisp that he has going over there. Is he still training over there? I don't know if with the COVID.
He was
at
Tiger Muay Thai in Phuket. I don't know if he's still there.
With the whole COVID thing, I don't know. But man,
yeah,
when he fought Anders, and he
pieced Anders up.
He had a fight since then. It wasn't as sharp, I don't think.
Yeah, more recently than Anders, right?
But I'm a big fan.
Kudalaba.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Roundtree, and I'm gonna go in his way for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Do we know anything about these early prelims?
So Andrew Sanchez is coming off a win.
Right.
He knocked out Wellington Turman, and then you have Makhmed Muradov. I think Muradov last beat a guy that's fighting on the card previously. We talked about. Who is it?
That's fighting on this card?
No, the card. Wednesday card.
Yeah.
Here, let's pull it up. Event results.
Yeah, he beat this
the Chirco.
Yeah. And he just beat last time he's fought was Smith. Wow. Smith guy. I don't know. I think Muradov is the favorite in this fight, but I don't know. Like I got some feeling about Sanchez here. But then this fight, I'm gonna go with
Movsar.
Movsar.
I was actually funny. I was so off him when he was gonna fight Landwehr. I was all on Landwehr. He wears sunglasses into his way, which I don't like that. It always makes me feel like I can't trust you.
And Nick Lentz has been around the game for a while.
30-11.
Right.
Yeah.
Movsar is kind of that.
He might get Matt Wyman.
Yeah. Yeah. He's kind of that next up-and-comer from Russia. Ran things over there. So I was off Movsar versus Landwehr just because of their history with each other and they kind of been ducking each other. But I'm all about Movsar.
Yeah, I think Movsar's going to take this. And then
we had this fight before. We talked about this. And I'm sticking with my pick of Amir Albazi.
Yeah, I'm going with Albazi.
It's going to be fucking takedown city. Yeah. Zalgas has some kicks.
Yeah.
He looks scared in his picture.
These guys are what? They're from Uzbekistan, right? They're coming up. Or is it Kazakhstan?
Zalgas is from Kazakhstan, I believe.
Kazakhstan.
I believe so. Great stand-up. Does not want any part of the takedown. And Albazi is just gonna shoot and slam.
I think Albazi gets this done.
Right, and that's what I'm going with on that one as well. So yeah, we have a few little differences. You better hope Jessica.
A few chances for that fucking chip to come back out of my mouth, but
I think you can only leave this card tied. So no,
I don't know.
It depends what happens Wednesday.
And shit. When's the weigh-ins? Tuesday, right?
Right.
I might flip script on.
But that's for Saturday.
I might have to strategize a little bit.
But I'm saying that would be like the go home show, like because like we have Wednesday's card. That's Saturday.
I don't know. Then I can go for broke on Saturday. Just
he's
pick
got
up random fucking people.
Opposite of everything.
Pick all the underdogs.
All right. Well, then let's move on to just some fight announcements.
News. Let's get into some of that gossip.
Juice.
Well, first they announced Overeem Volkov. Do we have any thoughts? February 6th on that fight. That's the only one. The only fight they have listed for that.
I think this is going to be a great fight, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't excite me.
No,
does that make sense?
No, I feel like every time Overeem fights.
No, exactly. Like, I think I'm gonna love this fight. These two guys want to stand there and bang, dude. They're both strikers. It's gonna be a kickboxing match.
I think Volkov's gonna win this at range.
Man,
can we extend the chip bet?
we'll do a new. We're gonna have a new bet every month.
Right.
We'll figure out something out for February. All right.
Snort some wasabi.
There you go.
Nice bag and tea.
We'll do rectal whiskey shots.
All right. Well, so you both think Volkov's?
No,
I think Volkov.
There we go. So this is when the show gets fucking good. I love Alistair Overeem. Yeah. I think he gets another heavyweight title shot before he's done.
No way.
I don't think he wins.
No way.
He's number 5 in the world right now. I think he wins this fight against number 6.
I think Volkov's getting this done at range. Decision.
Let me tell you. Let me ask you this: you have Francis and Stipe, right? Let's say Francis wins that fight.
I think Francis does win that. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Stipe retires, I think.
Yes.
I think Stipe retires. And you get Francis and Jones, right? That'd be the next fight. Who fights the winner of that fight? Alistair Overeem.
Well, what about you got if Derek Lewis gets past, or not Derek Lewis, but if Blades gets past Lewis, they're gonna put Blades.
I don't think. First off,
fights the next
heavyweight.
Izzy ain't fighting heavyweight.
Not yet. Maybe eventually. That might be a thing. That might eventually be a thing, but I think that's more 2023, 2024.
Yeah.
But I think that's if John plays around over there for a little while, and he. But I don't think there's any way Dana gives Curtis Blades the title shot unless. Yeah. Everybody else gets COVID.
I see Francis and New beat Stipe this time around.
And let's say Francis beats Jones. You're going to do Francis Blades 3 after Francis beat him twice?
Yeah, and I think Francis. I think Jones will beat Francis.
I think he could beat Francis.
I mean,
and I think you'll see
Francis thing might be like a trilogy thing that happens.
That could be a thing that happens too.
Yeah. Right.
But if. Let's just say it plays out one at a time, and maybe Jones comes back, or whoever comes back later to fight Jones again.
I think Stipe might fuck all this.
Well, I think the Francis fight is Stipe's last fight.
Yeah.
Regardless of what he does, that's where I'm leaning right now. I'm trying to play a little prognosticator, but I think Stipe, win or lose, that's his last fight.
I mean, yeah, at worst he's already beat him once. He loses, okay, whatever.
Right. Then you have the Jones Francis fight. That's gonna happen. I think after that you get Overeem versus the winner, whoever that champion is left. I think Overeem's going to beat Volkov. And he's going to keep Curtis Blades away from that title. Not saying he doesn't deserve it.
I like this fight because it is going to show where Alistair is still in with a strike.
I just think Dana does not want... Dana's going to keep giving Blades guys hoping he loses.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, is Derek Lewis even in that conversation?
Well, he's going to fight Blades at some point, right?
Right.
Yes, he's fight. That has been official. They've rebooked it. I can't remember what the date is, but...
What Dana White is hoping is Curtis Blades gets knocked out by Derek Lewis. And he never has to worry about giving Curtis Blades a title shot. He does not want to give Curtis Blades a title shot.
Blame him, really.
Right, because it's not going to be entertaining. Like, as a man who loves to bash grappling, has every chance that I get. Curtis Blades is one of the worst guys to watch when it comes to stuff like that because he just holds top position and doesn't move. That's what he does. I mean, it works. Like, I get why he wins this fight.
We got on that rabbit hole for a while. I mean, I'm just going to take Volkov in this one, though.
See, I'm leaning Overeem, and again, I think Overeem gets one more title shot before he's gone.
All right, let's move on to the fight that keeps just happening and not happening. And
Bring it, Jung
This is the new Tony Ferguson Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yes.
That's what this is. Does this fight ever happen? Let's forget the predictions of this fight. I'm not even going to do that no more.
Yeah.
Does it ever happen?
Both have had COVID. Yes, I think it happens this time.
Yeah.
When is it? March?
On December 19th, however, Edwards had COVID.
I say no. It does never happen. This fight never happens. Someone gets hurt.
March 13th? I mean, we still
That's
got
a lot of time. There's a lot of time to happen. Right. They both have already got COVID off the list, right? They're
is it
good.
leap year?
I don't even know anymore, man.
Oh, but that's pretty fucking quick. That's like fucking 2 months away, 8 weeks.
Oh, they say the winner would likely be #1 contender.
Are you kidding me? That makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah. But damn, could you imagine Hamzat winning?
Yeah, I mean, but if he be #3, why shouldn't she be #1 contender? Right?
True.
Well, so there's that.
My money is that fight never happens.
I think it
never happens.
I think it goes through.
There's a
I
shot.
feel like it's gotta happen.
There's a shot Leon Edwards ever fights for UFC again. Because he gets in some beef with Dana and he ends up getting released. And not because he's not good. Obviously, he's a great fighter. But it could end up he gets hurt, Dana gets pissed off, gets on his shit list, and he goes.
Yeah, Dana. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah,
if the fight happens.
My bet is, if the fight happens, I'm going with Hamzat.
I'm going with Edwards.
But my bet's it never happens.
Well, some more. Let's get the computer.
Where's the drama? Big drama show.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, hide your heels.
Hide your heels.
Don't worry about your wives.
The Umamari roll. Now, some grappling I could respect.
Yeah.
I mean, 13. Is that the same fight as Khamzat? March 13th?
I believe so, yep.
So, yeah. Man.
Well, I have my reason for this fight, so you go first.
I'm going Dan Ige.
All right. That's where I'm going, too.
I'm going with Ige. I think he's going to do enough to avoid getting his heel hooked. I think he's going to win this
Ryan Hall has one way to win this fight, and that's by submission.
Yeah, because on the feet, he's lost.
No,
we've seen it.
He is super. And I have a little beef with Ryan Hall for beating Sensei Pedro, our own Sensei. Ryan Hall has beaten our Sensei Pedro in a jiu-jitsu tournament, jiu-jitsu match. So, fuck you, Ryan Hall. And even though you're fucking great at jiu-jitsu.
But he has saved the drama from the morning pancake
establishment. But he also tapped out my boy BJ Penn.
Yeah.
So Ryan Hall, fuck Ryan Hall. That's my pick, Dan Ige. 50K all day.
You guys would get along in real life, though. He's a conspiracy nut, too.
Yeah.
You guys would have good conversations.
Looks like a pretty good card, though, besides the Edwards
Davey
fight,
Rosenstrike.
Yeah, Davey Grant, my boy. The blue-collar Brit. Where's he at? Who's he fighting? Jonathan Martinez. He's getting fucked up.
I don't know, man. Who was it he fought? Tyson Nam?
Who? Davey Grant?
Well, on Fight Island. The first ever Fight Island fight.
I can't remember who he beat. He didn't fight Tyson Nam.
Was it Maki Patolo?
No. Davey Grant. Who did
Martin Day.
Let's get
Martin Day. It was Martin Day.
Martin Day. That's right. He beat Martin Day.
So, yeah, Davey Grant is a lunch pail Davey Grant.
Yeah, he's the blue-collar guy, man.
Well, listen, it sounds like Rosenstrike might end up being the headliner if Edwards and Khamzat don't actually happen.
Rosenstrike and Cyril Gane.
I'm going Cyril Gane on that one. I think Biggie Boy has world-class power.
Yes.
But
I think Cyril Gane has more ability.
You look at Cyril Gane, he reminds me of a young Alistair Overeem, right? And look what Alistair really did to Rosenstruck. Alistair fucked Rosenstruck up for that whole fight. Till 1 second, it blew him up. Then we see how Rosenstruck was coming back against Francis. Iced real quick. Yeah. So maybe he was just kind of a flash in the pan that caught. If he never catches Alistair Overeem, we don't even know who the fuck Rosenstruck is.
Yeah, I'm going with Cyril Gane, too.
Yeah. I've never seen a heavyweight. I'm telling you, Cyril Gane reminds me of Conor McGregor the way he fights. It's like a giant.
He has more tools, man.
Yeah.
All right, we already kind of jumped into this one. The next fight after the Khamzat fight, I guess 2 weeks away, March 27th.
This is going to be a great one.
I
can't wait to this. This is, my tribe. God, look at Rogan's fucking face right there. Look at Rogan's face.
Yeah. I love Stipe.
That's back when before Spotify, when he used to be able to still get angry. Now there's no anger left in him.
This is the thing. Like, if Francis does not win this fight,
right, and that's for my hope for that UFC heavyweight title. I want Francis to win this fight because again, I think I do not want to see Stipe walk away as champ, and then I have no hard feelings. Like Stipe is a fucking great, like possibly the best heavyweight that's ever fucking stepped in a cage, right?
Yeah.
No hard feelings. Cool dude. Like all the best, but like it sucks if he loses. if he beats Ngannou, walks away, and then what do you have, Ngannou versus John Jones for the title? That Ngannou.
If Blades win, you'll have Blades, man. Blades Jones.
Are you gonna do Blades Jones? I don't think they're doing that fight. If
Jones will beat
I'll
Blades'
tell you what,
ass.
if Ngannou loses that fight and Stipe retires, it's gonna be Jones versus fucking Overeem for the title. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to see Curtis Blades fight, especially John. That might be the only guy in heavyweight that beats John Jones is Curtis Blades, just because of the size in the wrestling.
Let's see if Francis has done enough to improve.
And we haven't really got a shot to see Francis. He hardly fights. He knocked out a Rosenstruck for sure,
Which
but
could be a downfall.
Right. I mean, it's hard to bet. He only has to be good for a half of a second.
Couldn't do it the first time.
No, he couldn't.
But there's some part of me that I think Francis is going to win this fight. I think he's going to do enough to connect, but I don't know, man. Stipe, you cannot count that motherfucker out.
No, the thing about Stipe is like there's not like he's not the best striker. He's not the best wrestler. He's not a great grappler. He's decent anywhere the fight goes. You can't take advantage of him. There's no like.
It's a Stipe of all trades.
Right. You look at him versus Cormier, who's probably the best wrestler in UFC heavyweight history, if not one of the best. I mean,
Cormier is a very good. He's a very well
two-time Olympic wrestler though. He couldn't wrestle him down. Cormier or Stipe fought
Cormier couldn't get Stipe down.
That's what I'm saying.
Stipe took Cormier down.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Cormier is probably the best wrestler in UFC heavyweight history.
Stipe, does he piss in the UFC's Wheaties?
I don't know. He just seems like a nice dude, man. The guy's still a fucking fireman. He's still a fireman.
I mean, that's never in question. Stipe's awesome. I love Stipe.
Right.
But I mean, for business,
business-wise,
what happened? Okay, so if Stipe wins this fight, he retires. But what if Stipe doesn't retire? What do you do?
You got Stipe Jones. Stipe Jones, without a question.
I think that. I mean,
Jones just gets that title fight.
Yes. He
Come
deserves
on.
it. That motherfucker is the
greatest fighter of all time.
Perhaps, but I never liked the idea.
No disagreement there.
A title fight as soon as he fucking moves up in weight.
Jones should.
If there's anybody to do it, again, we're talking about Alistair Overeem's 5 in the division.
But give Jones Overeem. Give Jones all the 2 through 7. Then I think he's. If it were me, I just think he needs to.
Yeah, I mean,
Jones is part of it.
He's a beast, and I think he's certainly a top.
Here's what I feel. We want to get a fucking hot take on this podcast. Heavyweight's gonna be easier for John Jones than 205.
I agree.
Because he's gonna be the best athlete now.
Yeah, he's quicker.
By far.
He's well rounded.
Right.
Listen, man, I don't know that Jones beats Ngannou. I just don't know that.
I wrestle that motherfucker.
I'd be more worried against Stipe than Ngannou.
Yeah, I think Stipe poses a bigger problem to Jones than Ngannou.
The two people I think Jones has the biggest problem is one Stipe because everybody has a problem with Stipe, and Curtis Blades. Because Curtis Blades relentless in that wrestling, right? And that's a big dude. Curtis Blades is a big, strong man.
Yeah,
but Francis has one toy, and I know Jones knows how to avoid getting hit.
Yeah, and Stipe can take shots.
Right,
he took Francis's best shots first time.
Right. Yeah, but I think Francis might have softened him up for
how
Cormier.
Motivated is Stipe for this fight? He's beat this guy once. You know, maybe he's on the verge of retirement.
Well, he's definitely on the verge. Like
But I still wouldn't want to get knocked out by fucking Francis.
No, he's not gonna let Francis win or nothing like that.
You know.
But if you look at that heavyweight divisions, John Jones is better than the top.
I don't know, man. I think Stipe gives
John
him trouble.
Jones is better than Rosenstruck.
Yeah, John Jones beats Rosenstruck. He beats Lewis. He beats Overeem. He beats Volkov. He beats Gane. He beats whoever the hell that is.
Sakai.
He beats Sakai by murder.
Alexei Olenek, JDS, Walt Harris, Ivanov. Yeah. He beats every one of those people. He beats
all those dudes.
Greg Hardy.
Yeah. Curtis Blades and Stipe are probably.
He's more likely to lose to a guy like Alexander Romanov than he is any one of these guys.
Yeah.
Or Chris Dawkins, like those young and up and coming guys that are kind of making their way up. But anyone on that list, I think John Jones wins outside of Stipe or Francis if he catches him, or obviously Blades because Blades' strength is just his.
Maybe if Habib moves up to heavyweight.
I don't know, man. I think you're giving too much to Jones. I think we all agree that he lost that Reyes fight.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like so, technically, he's not unbeatable. You know, and I don't know that Reyes beats Stipe, Ngannou, Blades, Lewis. You know.
Yes And no, Reyes, we got to think about these guys at 205. They spent their whole life to fight John Jones. Mm-hmm. They trained for John Jones. They had their eyes on John Jones, whereas John Jones was just kind of waiting for the next person to come. John Jones liked to go and fight a guy in their strengths too. John Jones would do that just because he wanted to challenge himself. What's his name? Santos, you're a great kickboxer. Let's fucking kickbox for 5 rounds. Reyes, you like to fight at range? Let's fight at range for 5 rounds. Like, he went where these people were good to fight him, and I think he was bored at 205.
I agree. His motivation was lacking.
Yeah. The week before he fought Dominic Reyes, he was at the Super Bowl being John Jones. So if anybody doesn't know what that means, cocaine, fucking
fast cars,
strippers, anything you fucking think of.
Pretty much
was,
the life.
Yeah, he was there the week before the fight. Yeah. So that's where he was doing before the fight. I don't think he's gonna do that at heavyweight.
I think I would love to see John Jones and Stipe.
Yeah.
I think it's a fucking great fight.
And now I mean,
I'd like to see Jones in any of the top 5 heavyweights. Yeah. I think any of those are good fights.
I mean, I don't think Izzy should be calling out Jones. I think Jones
at 205. I think there's some
it might be a little competitive
because you're basically, but that's basically the two champ. I get when the two champs in the next weight levels are calling each other out. That makes sense. So 185 and 205. That's the neighboring weight class. That makes sense because Jones is technically still the 205 champion.
Yeah,
but
back to Stipe Francis. I just have this feeling Francis is going to win this fight. I don't know why, but I just do.
Well, it's just because he doesn't have to be that good to win. Yeah. That's the gift that Francis has. He could have a shitty fight and win.
Yeah, it's a hard fight to decide.
Well, let's move on to the next one.
Ooh, yeah.
There we go.
This is good.
I kind of hinted at this a little earlier.
Yeah, this is good. I think people are going to be shocked with this fight.
Not me, because I'm going with T-City in this one.
Yeah, I like Brian Ortega here.
For sure.
I like Brian Ortega's going to have some size, some height. I think he's going to do some things that Max didn't do.
Especially when
And that's on the Francis fight, too. That's the same card.
Oh, okay.
When I saw the way he pieced up Zombie.
I just farted, by the way.
There, finally, hour or so in.
So it might be SBD.
Or am I psychic?
There's a candle there. We can light the fucker up.
I was psychic. But I'm leaning toward T-City in this one. Again, I don't think Volkanovski's really the champion.
Dude, I like a standing guillotine in this fight.
Oh, you're going.
I think he's going to jump a guillotine on Volko.
I think that he's just going to keep him at range.
He's going to shut down the Shire.
He's going to keep him at range. What's his Cejudo call him? The midget? Cejudo calls him the midget or something like that?
That's something
the dwarf.
From Cejudo.
Yeah.
Like me calling him a midget.
But I think Ortega wins this fight and we get Ortega versus Holloway.
Yeah, and I think Holloway gets the belt back.
Yeah, because, I mean, unless Ortega, I don't know, that first Ortega-Holloway fight didn't really put too much confidence in Brian for me.
Yeah, I think Ortega wins this fight.
Me too.
I don't know why, but I can't pinpoint it.
Regardless, that's a great card so far.
Absolutely.
Stipe and these guys.
I just, and again, in my eyes, Alexander Volkanovski is not the champion.
Yeah.
Well,
he shouldn't be. Max won that second fight.
Khabib may or may not be coming out of retirement.
Yeah, thanks, Dana.
Can we pull up Nate Diaz's tweet?
Well, so that's on here next. Yeah, I have Diaz's tweet.
Let's make this fight. Fuck Charles Oliveira. Fuck Conor.
Wait. I thought you loved Charles Oliveira.
Look, I'd rather see him fight Nate.
I want to see Nate fight anybody. He's a pussy for real.
Can't even spell it.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Do you love the fact that he misspelled Khabib?
Yeah, it's
Was
awesome.
that intentional or not?
Oh, no, he thought he spelled it right.
I don't know, yeah.
And he doubled up on the A. Khabib is AA pussy.
A double A pussy.
Not even triple A? Come on, man.
I've always wanted to see Nate versus Khabib. They had that fight in the crowd not so long ago.
I think Nate would be a tougher fight than Tony Ferguson against Khabib. Let's see what you feel. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, okay, when you get a Khabib fight, it's going to go to the ground, right? And I do like Nate Diaz in the ground better than I do like Tony Ferguson.
You know, Khabib, the thought is he's going to fight whoever wins Conor Poirier, but he just beat Poirier. So it's like,
well, he's looking
his
at
last two out of his last 3 wins are those guys.
He's looking at all four of them.
Obviously
So the thing
Conor.
that I think that brings Khabib back is if Oliveira does something significant. He's beat Gaethje.
No.
He's beat Poirier.
What brings Khabib back is Conor's going to win. No,
all.
Conor's going to win on Saturday, and he's going to say some shit after that fight.
right. I mean, I think that's the most likely thing. I mean, I think
Khabib fucking beats him again, though.
I think this is already set in stone, too. Like, if Conor wins this fight, I think if Dustin wins this fight, Khabib never comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, Dana said it's not happening, but I think the fight that we all want to see is Khabib GSP, right?
Well, that's what I want to see.
That's what I want to see is that fight. But Dana said it's not.
I mean, I think
I
Khabib,
don't.
I think
just
Khabib
because
wins,
GSP is not GSP. Anymore.
Yeah, I think Khabib
I don't
wins.
know, man. He's like what I imagine Khabib's going to be in 15
the last
years.
guy he beat
a guy
was what?
who just maintains.
Bisping at 185.
Right. And Bisping had one eye.
Bisping's not known for his takedown defense.
I just think it's all that is a ship that sailed maybe 2-3 years ago. I mean, GSP's not super old, but I mean the guy's laying around not fighting.
He's got hair now though.
Yeah, it looks weird. It's just weird.
It's like Brian Urlacher.
Doesn't yeah. You got to restore.
All right, so Khabib might be coming back. Maybe he fights Nate Diaz. I think we all know who.
Well, supposedly they were just talking recently too. I don't know if we're gonna get to that, but like Nate Diaz, especially, there's a fight in the works. We're supposed to find out pretty soon.
Yeah, they saw.
And
that.
Dana said he thinks we'll like it a lot, but it's
Conor.
not Tony Ferguson.
Conor called out Nate too, but not as mean. He goes, "It'd be great to have that trilogy for the title."
Why am I not that interested in seeing that trilogy?
Because you know Conor can lose it. Conor might have
But I
lost
think
both
Nate
of those
can
fights.
lose it too. Like I feel like we know that these
There's
guys.
a very strong argument that that's a 2-0.
I think Conor won the second.
Yeah,
I think he did
but
enough.
you are a Conor fanboy.
I am, but even bias aside, I think he did enough in that second.
There's a lot of people that don't agree with you, but there's a lot of people.
Bring them on.
I'll tell you what, there ain't no question in Nate's victory.
Mm.
That was
Decisive.
That was a tap. I am done.
Yeah. Well, I think that really touches on everything. Is there something you guys want to? Anything else?
You want to do a quick quick run through who we think is going to be champion in each division? Let's just start with the division. Who we think is going to be champion?
Where by the end of the year?
Yeah, by the end of the year. What we think in 2021.
For sure.
So let's start with
flyweight.
Pound to pound. Flyweight. Who's going to be the champ?
I am going to stay with Figgy.
I'm going to stay Figgy.
All right.
Bantamweight.
Bantamweight. I am gonna come out of left field, and I am gonna say Henry Cejudo.
I'm going to say Corey Sandhagen.
I'm gonna say Henry Cejudo.
Garbrandt.
Woo!
Oh.
Okay.
Don't forget my boy Henry. Henry's
No,
not really
Henry
retired.
comes back. Henry
He's
comes
not
back.
really retired. Henry versus TJ.
All right.
Featherweight.
Featherweight. Did we just watch this fight last night? It's fucking blessed, man. It is what it is. It is what it is, baby. It is what it is.
Best is blessed.
Can't even spar no more. Now this next one is going to be the biggest.
Lightweight. Okay.
Whew. All right.
So everybody thinks Conor's gonna win, right? And then what?
Drum roll, please.
Who goes first?
Go for it.
I'm going Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor's the champ.
Conor McGregor ends 2021 as the lightweight champion. And I'm going to go on a limb and say Khabib doesn't come back.
If Khabib comes back, Khabib is the champion.
No, I guarantee you. I'll guarantee
He will
Khabib
beat
is not
Conor
going to be the champion at the end of the year.
He will beat Conor.
Here's
again.
why. Even if he does come back and wins, he'll retire then, and somebody else will win it before the year's over. So Khabib's not ending 2021.
He's one of those guys. As soon as he wins that night, he's like, "I'm retired."
Yeah, and then that 30-0 will be his last fight. So Khabib's not ending 2021 as champion. That's my guarantee. That's why I'm
It's
saying
Conor
Conor.
or it's Khabib.
That's why I'm saying Conor. That's why I'm saying Conor.
Man.
Welterweight, who cares? No, Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, and I think he's going to be the new king of that division.
Gilbert Burns, yeah.
I think he'll be the king of that division for a while.
Chimaev isn't going to make his way to the top.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. He will, but not yet.
Not by the end.
Because I don't think he's going to get that. I don't think he's going to get that Edwards fight. He might have the best fight. I think Chimaev's next fight might be Wonder Boy.
Yeah.
I think Edwards falls through. I remember I'm betting that Edwards falls through. I think it's going to be Robert Whittaker because Izzy lets it go.
I'm going Whittaker as well.
And I think it's because Izzy lets it go. And
yeah, he stays at 205.
12 months is a long time. Does that mean, like, Whittaker gets it? Does
Costa
beat him?
No. Costa doesn't beat him.
No, man.
The only person I think who might have that might be a dark horse, Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see Costa fall in the ranks. Actually.
Right. I think Costa's figured out.
People have got him figured out. He's boxy. He's blocky.
I think Costa loses to Whitaker, and then he ends up losing to Vettori.
I think a lot of those guys beat Costa right there. I think Costa could beat Cannonier, but I think Till beats Costa. I think who else is up there?
I think this year ends with Costa losing to Kevin Holland, and
I think Holland beats Costa. I think you're right. No, maybe not Uriah Hall, but
Uriah Hall could beat Costa.
There's a lot of those guys that can beat Costa.
But I could totally see Uriah Hall knocking out Paulo Costa.
Yeah, there's a lot of those guys that can beat Costa.
But I think Whitaker ends the year as a champion, and Holland gets it in 2022.
I agree.
Light
heavyweight.
The style bender.
Izzy.
The style bender.
Izzy beats Jan. None of those other guys are going to beat Izzy.
And there's nobody coming that way. The only one that
kind of
scares me is Rakic.
No, I think Izzy beats him too.
But no, he's the only one I think that has a shot of beating Izzy.
Yeah, I don't think any of those guys.
He's a freak of nature, Rakic.
Izzy's too good. None of those guys are going to. And then
this one, are you going to go on a limb?
I'm gonna go John Jones.
That's what I'm gonna say too. Johnny Jones. By the end of the year, he wins that title.
I think somehow Nagano beats Stipe, and then Jones beats Nagano.
And I am 100% agree with that one.
Oh,
all right, so let's.
I think that might be the fight of all time. That Ngannou Jones.
He does it, and Jones does it on the New Year's Eve card. You know they always have a big card right around New Year's Eve. John wins it right before 2021 goes up.
We don't think Amanda Nunes is losing
her
pound for pound.
She's pound for pound, right?
Well, I do have a bold claim about the women's featherweight. I say that gets absolved after she beats Anderson.
Okay, I can see that.
There's nobody there. I think she beats Megan Anderson at 145, and then that's it for that division.
Yeah.
There's no. They don't even have people listed.
They absolve it. So flyweight.
So we think Rose or Joanna?
I think
I'm going
Valentina falls.
Are we gonna start flyweight?
Are we gonna go Rose? I am gonna go.
I'm going with Thug Rose to get it done.
Is she actually getting the next fight?
I don't know. There's so much fucking gray area on this shit.
Here's what I will say. Whoever fights Weili next wins that title and ends the year as a champion.
Rose.
If it's Rose, I'll give you Rose. Or if Joanna gets another shot, she gets it too.
Weili.
I think whoever fights Weili next wins that title.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there's going to be several fights.
You think Carla Esparza can beat
Angela Hill works her way up. I think Amanda Ribas works her way up.
Tasha Torres looked sharp that last fight too.
Yeah, and she lost a decision to Weili, but it was close.
Yeah, she rocked her a few times. But I don't know if Rose is ever going to fight her though.
Rose says she wants to, but
they just said she doesn't. So who makes the choice?
I think Rose beats her.
Yeah,
they fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Rose is better than JJ.
Whoever gets that,
showed it twice.
Whoever gets that fight against her is going to win that fight. Yeah. So I'm going to say that it is.
And you think the
Rose.
Bullet loses?
I think the Bullet finally loses. I think
there's not, dude.
I think she showed that she can be taken down. She can be grappled a little bit.
Who's going to do that?
The number one right underneath her, Jessica Andrade, is going to get her. She's a freak. Her power, her size is like she's not like size, like not a freak, like being big and strong, but it's shockingly strong how big she is. She's gonna finally beat.
You think the
Andrade.
Justin Bieber of the women's flyweight division?
Yeah, right, right.
So y'all remember this?
Yeah, bold take.
The flyweight. You think Andrade is champ?
I think Andrade ends the year as champion.
Nah, I got Bullet keeping it.
That's a safe bet.
It's gonna happen.
I think Andrade does it. She looked like a monster against Chukagian, like a fucking monster. And I've seen her beat the shit out of Rose. I've seen her beat she beat Rose. She knocked her out. Obviously, Rose win that fight, but towards the second half of that second fight. If that was a 5-round fight, she probably wins it.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Bullet smoking her.
Hey, who got the injury suspension after that fight? Rose did, not her.
Bullet.
Yeah.
Bullet gonna maintain it.
Yeah, that's a bold claim. That's really
Mine's a bold claim.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like being sarcastic. Like you're really putting your balls out there. There's gonna be somebody holding that title that we're not expecting.
And then
Amanda Nunes.
Amanda's gonna just hold on to this.
She's beating everybody on there.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like maybe Jermaine on a good night can catch her.
Maybe. No.
But the only thing is Amanda might retire.
Yeah.
She might retire.
Yeah,
After Anderson. She just had a baby.
Well, let's see what happens with Nina. Nina's fighting who? Nina Onstaroff is fighting McKenzie.
Right.
Dern.
But
like we might see McKenzie work her way up that fucking flyweight.
Absolutely. But I don't think
is it flyweight or strawweight? Flyweight.
She's 125.
Flyweight.
I don't think that Amanda Nunes is gonna be active by the end of the year.
Mackenzie Dern's not even ranked.
So that's gonna be interesting. No, there's no way.
Fuck?
Right there, she's 11.
Oh, there she is. So it's strawweight.
She's strawweight. She's 115, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I
like
big
titties for 115.
I like the way Mackenzie looked in that last fight.
Yeah, she owned Jandaroba. Yeah, the bantamweight. The only question is Amanda's still gonna be fighting.
Yeah.
I could totally see she like that. They just had a baby. She's done everything she can do.
She doesn't have anything left to prove.
She's beating everybody in that division.
She's beat Shevchenko.
So that's why I think that featherweight division's gone. Because if she's gone, why are you gonna keep that division?
Yeah. And
then I think she might retire. So maybe there is somebody. Maybe there's gonna be a GDR champion at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it's not because she beats Amanda that Amanda retires. Like I said, they just had a kid. Her and Nina just had a kid.
Macy Barber 125. Yeah.
I don't think this is the year. I think next year. I don't think she gets to the title picture yet.
Roxanne.
She fights Roxanne again.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. Roxanne wins. She beats Vivian, and then Macy gets that
rematch. They did
Roxanne
dirty. They gave her Vivian. They should have gave her fucking one of those top 7.
But they all just fought. I mean, this is the fight that's gonna happen. Chikagian fought twice in like a month. Murphy just fought recently. Maya just fought.
What's Murphy? Murphy's like trying to hold out for a title shot. She needs to fight again. I think Lauren Murphy, Jennifer Maya should be made.
Joja I already fighting. Yeah, Macy's 2022.
Yeah.
She's 2022. Antonina. What if Antonina beats her sister?
No way.
No.
I'd like to watch it though.
Yeah, for sure. I like to see siblings fight.
Mom never loved you.
Yeah.
Well, those are the bold predictions for 2021. I don't know if there's anything else to cover this week.
No.
But be sure to like, subscribe, follow Instagram, Twitter, all those fun things. Website, I'll have links to all that stuff. Anything you guys want to say?
Make sure you watch next Sunday's podcast. Mike's going to be eating that spicy chip.
No. We already see the 8-2. That's going to be like my average in 2021. I'm going to be about 80% every time we do picks. So if you want to make some money.
Bold prediction.
Yeah, so if you want to make some money and, if you want to watch Mike. Tony suffer, follow my picks.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, thank you. Have a good one, y'all.